Live from WTVO 17 and your home team, Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
Jobs are out there, but businesses struggle to connect with potential employees because of the pandemic. We'll get one local effort to bridge the gap.
Loves Park says it doesn't need services from the Rockford Area Convention and Visitors Bureau. The RACVB says terminating the partnership's a mistake.
There's no compromise yet on Capitol Hill for more COVID-19 relief. We look at what's holding things up despite public support from the president.
Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson. Businesses across the Wisconsin border get creative, helping people find work.
The job fair hoped to make job seekers aware of open positions they may not have known about. Dylan Saraki shows us those attending got the info without having to leave the driver's seat.
Organizers tell me many state line employers do have open positions they're looking to fill, but the pandemic is making it more challenging to reach job seekers.
It's been really difficult to try to match up workers with job opportunities, but they're there. The job opportunities are there.
As part of a statewide effort to help combat unemployment, the Southwest Wisconsin Workforce Development Board did something unique, a drive-through job fair.
With COVID the way that it is, we've found it very difficult to try to do anything within our facilities are closed as far as the job centers are concerned.
Beloit native Olga Espinosa has never seen something like this before, but she'll do whatever it takes.
Only my husband working, and I got 2 kids. Only work for 40 hours a week.
Currently, the Rock County unemployment rate is around 8%, but event organizer Gail Graham is hopeful a socially distant job fair can help overcome challenges people are facing in their search for employment.
It's very, very difficult right now. Companies have policies and protocols that they need to follow as far as having people within their facilities for job openings.
Job seekers were given a bag with materials from more than 50 local companies looking for workers.
There are jobs for everyone. We have everything from manufacturing, healthcare, food service, truck driving. We have everything in this bag.
If you missed the job fair, all of the materials will be posted online. You can find out more about that at our website, mystateline.com. In Beloit for your home team, I'm Dylan Saraki.
Unemployment numbers are moving in the right direction for Illinois. Between July and August, the unemployment rate dropped a half a percentage point to 11%. That adds up to over 66,000 jobs added. Industries that saw the most job growth in August: hospitality, government, and professional and business services. The information sector in Illinois regressed. It's down 1,400 jobs. The state's jobless rate still tops the national average by over 2.5 percentage points. The national unemployment rate sits at 8.4%.
Police arrest a suspected drug dealer after they found him hiding in a shopping center's dumpster. RPD's narcotics unit was tipped off about a person selling cocaine. Zachary Martinez was developed as a suspect. Wednesday, Rockford police tried to stop Martinez over on Glenwood Avenue. Instead of getting out, police say he drove through a house's backyard into a field. The 25-year-old ran away, ditched a gun after getting the car stuck, again according to police. Officers found him about half a mile away, hiding in that dumpster behind the Rockton Avenue shopping center. Martinez faces several drug and weapons charges. A Caledonia man's accused of sexually assaulting a child. Boone County deputies arrested James Sakuchi on Tuesday. Over the last 3 years, investigators say the 26-year-old sexually assaulted a child under 13 years old more than once. If found guilty, Sakuchi faces anywhere from between 30 to 300 years behind bars. One of the former Department of Children and Family Services employees facing charges in the A.J. Friend case enters a plea. Andrew Polovin pleaded not guilty to child endangerment and reckless conduct in a McHenry County courtroom. Polovin and Carlos Acosta were both charged in the 5-year-old's death last week. The indictment accuses them of allowing 5-year-old A.J. to be placed in a home that put him at risk. A.J. died in April 2019 after being tortured and beaten. His parents were charged with murder. In July, A.J.'s mom pleaded guilty. Acosta will appear in court next week.
The Rockford Area Convention and Visitors Bureau weighs in on Loves Park's plan to dissolve their partnership. On Monday, Loves Park City Council members voted to begin the progress of splitting with the RACVB. Over the last decade, the city has paid the RACVB $1.5 million to market events in Loves Park. RACVB's president says the group plays a crucial part in getting people to come to the city.
A unified approach to marketing our region is stronger and a better approach than going it alone. And so while I wouldn't advise that, if we get to the other end of this and that's the direction they take, we will wish them well. Don't think that will produce the best results for the city or our region.
Loves Park has partnered with the RACVB for the last 36 years. The agreement includes an 80-20 split, meaning the Convention and Visitors Bureau gets 80% of the city's hotel-motel tax dollars.
But we just didn't feel like we've got a lot from them regarding marketing, regarding, other tourist attractions that we have in the area. So I think that was the bottom line. We didn't feel we were getting our money.
The partnership is expected to end in November.
The number of people who've tested positive for COVID-19 in Winnebago County tops 5,000. Close to 75 more people have caught the virus. There are no new deaths reported in the county. The 7-day positivity rate has dropped. Today it's 7.2%. That's down from yesterday's 7.5%. The recovery rate saw a slight increase as well. Of the people who've tested positive for COVID, 96.3% have recovered.
The battle over the next coronavirus relief package continues on Capitol Hill.
Democrats renewed calls for their multi-trillion-dollar plan they say is the only solution. Raquel Martin reports even though President Trump warmed up to the idea of spending more, Republicans say no thanks. Eyewitness News is keeping you connected to the nation's capital.
We have a massive problem in our country.
Democrats are digging their heels in deeper to get a nearly $2 trillion coronavirus stimulus deal passed.
The needs have only grown.
Our small businesses are devastated. Our schools cannot safely reopen. More than 195,000 of our fellow Americans have tragically died.
Illinois Democratic Congresswoman Lauren Underwood says for Democrats, there's no more room for compromise.
America cannot afford another day of Republican inaction.
We came down $1 trillion. We asked them to go up $1 trillion. Instead, they went down.
This week, President Trump on Twitter said Republicans should increase the amount they're willing to spend. But Senator Chuck Grassley tells me the party isn't interested.
You could get Republicans to spend more money than maybe what we had a week ago, but you'll never get us to go to $1.5 trillion.
Grassley says sending billions in federal dollars to blue states is off the table.
They're playing politics, and when they play politics, the people of this country lose.
People are still hurting.
Kansas Senator Pat Roberts says he's holding out for a compromise.
It's possible. I don't know if it's probable. We not only have a pandemic with COVID-19, we have a pandemic of politics.
This week, a group of 50 bipartisan lawmakers introduced a compromise $2 trillion bill, but it's not backed by leadership in either party. In Washington, Raquel Martin.
With wildfires ravaging the West Coast and Hurricane Sally the Gulf Coast, people may be reaching into their pockets to help those affected.
The Better Business Bureau warns it's the perfect opportunity for scammers to take advantage of people's compassion. The BBB has tips for donors to avoid falling victim. First, find out if the charity of choice has an on-the-ground presence. That means check out what the group's doing to address people's immediate needs. Avoid giving to organizations that are passing along donations to another group or acting as the middleman. If donating food or clothes, make sure the charity has the resources to quickly distribute aid.
A famous artist plans to use his talents to help out a Rockford landmark. Jim Brickman will be tickling the ivories and using his pipes this holiday season for his Comfort and Joy at Home 2020 virtual tour. A portion of each ticket sold will go towards the Coronado Theatre. The historic venue hasn't had a show in months because of the pandemic. Brickman's show will happen during the holiday season. Tickets go on sale soon. Coming up at 6, we'll hear from the Rockford area venues and entertainment on the Yuletide show.
Now your first warm weather forecast with meteorologist Kevin Doon.
They definitely felt a lot different than it has the past couple of days here on the state line. We did manage to reach the 70s here in Rockford, and that's where we sit right now. It's 70 degrees, but the rest of the area, at least most of it, was stuck in the 60s for our Thursday. 67 currently out in Freeport, 65 in Monroe, and 68 for a current temperature down in Rochelle. This is a lot cooler than where we were this time last night. 10 degrees cooler to be exact than where we were just 24 hours ago. 14-degree temperature departure down in DeKalb. Here's a live look over the Rochelle Airport. Even though it's a lot cooler out there, at least we're seeing lots of sunshine overhead. You can see lots of blue sky, just a few clouds overhead, and that's how we're going to spend the rest of our evening. If we take a look at our recent satellite and radar, we once again didn't see any rain here in the state line. We actually haven't seen any rain since Saturday. We have a big system of high pressure situated up to our northwest. That is keeping us both cool and dry, and will continue to do so at least for the next few days here. But some good news, none of the state line is actually experiencing any drought conditions anymore as of today. We do have a few slivers of the state line that are still experiencing abnormally dry conditions, and if you look at the state as a whole, still over half of the state is experiencing abnormally dry conditions, but under 10% of the state of Illinois is actually under a drought for the time being. We were able to lift ourselves out of this drought because we saw 7 consecutive days of significant rainfall last week here in the state line. But as I mentioned, we haven't seen any rain for the past several days, not since Saturday. And if we take a look at some of our rain chances over the next several days here, they are slim to none. We have a slight chance for a little bit of rain late Monday and overnight between Monday and Tuesday. Otherwise, we're not really expecting any rain here in the state line until at least Wednesday, if not beyond that. Now, looking ahead with our FUTURECAST, we are seeing a few clouds overhead. Most of that will clear up through the night tonight. We're going to see mostly clear skies overnight, which will lead to a very sunny Friday morning. But by Friday afternoon, tomorrow, we will see a few more clouds move in, just some partly cloudy skies. But once again, not expecting any rain in the state line, despite seeing a little bit of green popping up here on our FUTURECAST. A lot of this cloud cover is going to clear up once again overnight between Friday and Saturday. And then we are going to experience mostly sunny skies to kick off our weekend on Saturday. A very dry but still very cool weekend here in the state line tonight. Temperatures will definitely feel a lot cooler as they drop down to the mid-40s for a low. As I mentioned, mostly clear skies overhead. And then tomorrow will be even cooler than it was today, reaching only the mid-60s for a high. Going to see a good mix of clouds and sunshine, a little bit breezy at times as well, still getting that cool breeze out of the north and the northeast. Now, looking ahead at the rest of the week, you can see we slowly do warm up through the weekend, reaching the upper 60s for Saturday. Should reach the 70s again by Sunday. Lots of sunshine here in the state line through the weekend. We're climbing up through the 70s, getting to the mid to upper 70s by the first day of fall on Tuesday. Should be back in the 80s by as early as Thursday.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with Sports Director Scott Lepper.
Consider Phase 1 of the White Sox rebuild complete. They have made the playoffs for the first time in 12 years. They got the clincher this afternoon against the Twins. They relied on their power bats again. Fourth inning, Jose Abreu pads his Major League RBI lead. He swats his 17th homer, and that's RBI number 50. The game was tied at 1. In the fifth, Edwin Encarnacion will crank one out, his 9th, and the game was tied up at 2. By the 7th inning, the game was tied at 3, and the Sox needed more runs, so Eloy Jimenez will knock one down the line. That double would score, well, that's not exactly the right play there, but it is nevertheless an infield hit. Here's Eloy Jimenez. There's the double down the line. That turned out to be the game winner there as Sanchez scored, and the Sox beat the Twins 4-3, so they are playoff bound. The Cubs have today off. They will host the Twins tomorrow. Mitch Trubisky is about as inconsistent as they come as far as starting quarterbacks in the NFL. But there's one situation that he consistently seems to thrive in, and that's in hurry-up situations when the offense is trying to battle from behind in the fourth quarter. His 3 touchdown passes in the fourth quarter in Detroit last Sunday are just the latest example of that. So what will it take for Trubisky to play with that same rhythm, that same sense of urgency earlier in the game?
We got to get to a point to where we just feel it. I don't think you want to go into the mindset that you attack the game like you're down 17 points. But it's got to be somewhere in that realm where we're being aggressive, but we're also taking care of the football and doing our job. So wherever we got to get to be in that mindset to come out and start fast.
Well, golf's U.S. Open is underway in New York, and what a start for Patrick Reed here on the 7th hole, a par 3 from 165 yards away. The ball's going to take one bounce, and it is in the hole. Reed was strangely calm there, very little reaction from him. Tiger Woods, meanwhile, had a mixed opening round. He sank 5 birdie putts, but he bogeyed 3 of the last 6 holes. He also had a double bogey. The net result was a 3-over par round of 73.
Well, it was a bit of ebb and flow to the round today. I did not finish off the round like I needed to. I made a bunch of putts in the middle part of the round. It seemed like most of my drives on the front nine were laying in the fairway and then end up in bad spots.
That's sports. We'll be right back.
Let's have a look at our first warn interactive radar, sponsored by Rockford Auto Glass and More, and you can find this on mystateline.com. For yet another day, no rain in the state line. I haven't seen any rain since Saturday. Conditions are going to remain pretty dry for the next several days here, and that includes tonight as temperatures drop to a cool 45 degrees for a low. We'll see a lot of clearing in our cloud cover over the next few hours, which will leave us with mostly clear skies overnight tonight. Partly cloudy skies tomorrow's temperatures only reach the mid-60s, so even cooler than we were today, but once again, no rain expected in the state line, just nothing more than a little bit of a cool breeze coming out of the north. Now, looking ahead at the rest of the week, heading into the weekend, we are stuck in the 70s for one more day. Come Saturday, we should be back in the 70s by Sunday as we see lots of sunshine through the weekend. We're climbing up through the 70s through the rest of the week. 80s should return to the state line as early as this upcoming Thursday.
What a nice forecast. All right, thanks, Kevin.
And thank you for spending a little time with us. Stay safe.